Good morning. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Okay, let us begin. I want to say good morning again. Good morning. And it's good to have all of you joining us here today. As we're about to begin this lesson, I would like for you to please get a pen and a paper so that you can take notes. This promises to be a very informative. My name is Mistress Daxon. Can you hear me? Good. Okay, my name is Mistress Daxon, and working along with me is Mistress Kemp, Miss Colley, Miss McFall, Miss Dixon, and Miss Poitier. They will be answering all of your questions. Please type all of your questions in the Q&A box on your screen. Those questions that you type, only those teachers' names that I call will be able to see them and answer them. So let's begin. Okay, our topic for today is algebra. Simplifying algebraic expression by collecting like terms. So we will be continuing to simplify algebra expression by collecting like terms. We started doing this on Monday. On Monday, we did addition and subtraction. Yesterday, we did multiplying. And today, let's look at our objective for the day. Our objective for the day is to simplify algebraic expression by collecting like terms, divide like terms. So today, we'll be looking at dividing like terms. If you missed the two previous lessons, you can check your link on the website and you can catch up on those lessons that you missed. They are posted underneath grade 7 on the website.
To convert 2/4 to simplest form, write out all the factors of 2 and 4. The greatest common factor is 2, so divide them both by 2. 2/4 equals 1/2, and here's what we do. To convert to the simplest form, we gotta find the greatest common factor. Then take that numerator and denominator and divide them by that common factor. To convert 4/12 to simplest form, write out all the factors of 12 and 4. 4's the greatest common factor, so divide by 4/4 to see. 4/12 equals 1/3. To convert to the simplest form, we gotta find the greatest common factor. Then take that numerator and denominator and divide them by that common factor.
Check it out now, simplest form and lowest terms are synonyms which you may have heard are two different phrases or words. These definitions are uniform. Using a geometric model can help us learn what's happening when converting simplest form. A rectangle shows 5/15. The GCF is 5, which means no greater number can divide both 15 and 5. So divide both by 5, get 1/3. It's lowest terms. It's so boss being a nerd.
To convert to the simplest form, we gotta find the greatest common factor. Then take that numerator and denominator and divide them by that common factor.
That common factor.
To convert 2/4 to simplest form, write out all the.
Okay, now it's when writing algebraic expression which involve division, divide the whole number, then subtract the indices power of the like variable. Okay, that is one of the rules when dividing like terms. Let's look at some examples using that. Okay, so I know everyone knows the answers, but just to make sure, what is 1 divided by 1? What would be my answer? 1 divided by 1. Okay, if your answer is 1, you are correct. Everybody got that right. Very good. Give yourself a good pat on the back. back. Let's go to number 2. 4 divided by 4. 4 divided by 4. Very good. Very good. I see those answers coming. Keep them coming. Very good. We know that our answer is 1. Very good. Let's look at another one. Number 3. Now, I know you wonder why I had 1 divided by 1. 4 divided by 4. So let's see how well you do on this one. A divided by A. A divided by A. Keep those answers coming. If we have A divided by A, what is our answer? If you said 1, you are correct. So the answer is 1. A divided by A. Let's look at number 4. You ready? Everyone with me? Good. You ready? Let's look at number 4. Number 4 says Q divided by Q. Q divided by Q. What is my answer? Q divided by Q. Very good. We get some good answer. And our answer is 1. Why is our answer 1? Why is our answer 1 for A and Q? Why is my answer 1 for A and Q? Can you tell me why? Okay, we know that any number divided by itself is equal to 1. Therefore, A divided by A is equal to 1. And Q divided by Q is equal to 1. Let me explain that further. What is A called? When I have A, what is that? What is A called in algebra? What is that called? Anyone not know what is the A called? When I have A, what is A? What does A represent in algebra? If I look at an expression, what does A represent? Or what is the word that we call when we have A in algebra using an expression? If you say a variable, you are correct. We know A is a variable, Q is a variable. And a variable means, what does a variable say? So what is a variable? We looked at that earlier in this week. What is a variable? Can you tell me what is a variable? If I said find a variable, in order to find a variable, you have to know what is a variable. What is a variable when we're speaking in algebraic terms? What is a variable? Very good. Very good. A variable is a letter that represent an unknown, So we don't know what number. A can be any number. So therefore, let's look at number 3. If I had said A was 5, so if I put 5 divided by 5, we would get 1. So A can be any number, like number 4, Q. Q can be any number. If I put in 10 divided by 10, it's going to give me 1. That's why you have to know your terms, and you have to know what each of the parts of the equation or expression is. Very good. Let's move on. Okay. When writing algebraic expression which involve division, the expression is set up as a fraction. Okay, so we're going to look at this example. That's why I had you watch the video, because when we're dividing algebraic terms, we set up our question like a fraction. So let's set it up as a fraction. So we're going to have 5h, and 5h to the 5th power. What does that mean? We know that means h times h times h times h times h. We learned that yesterday when we did multiplying like terms. So h to the 5th power means that's h times h times h times h times h. Very good. So that goes to the top, and what will we put to the bottom? To the bottom, we're going to have h times h times h times h. Now we have it set up as a fraction. Now we have to solve it. When you have a fraction, what do you think we're going to do next? Can you tell me what we're going to do next? What are we going to do next? Anyone have any idea what we're going to do next? When we have fraction and we have it set up, like, what do we do? There are some terms or words that we say. So what we're going to do is we're going to simplify it, or we're going to cancel it out. So what I'm going to do? Let's look back. I have 5 to the power of h means I'm going to multiply h. 5 times h times h times h times h times h. I hope you have your pen on your paper and you're taking your note. So let's start canceling out. We're going to cancel out 1h to the top with a 1 at the bottom. 1h to the top with 1 at the bottom. Remember, you have to cancel out with each other. 1h to the top and 1 at the bottom. Can we cancel any more? No, because we don't have any more at the bottom. Now it's time for us to write our answer. So anyone have any idea what will be my answer next? What is going to be my answer? Okay, my answer is going to be, let's look at it. So let's go. Our answer is going to be, how many h do we have to the top? H times H. We have two H, so H times H. And how do we write that? We write H squared. Now, when we cancel out, what number will go to the bottom? What will we put to the bottom? What will we put to the bottom? So at the bottom, we are going to write 1. We are going to write 1 because when we cancel out, when we cancel out H with H, we have 1H. So let's simplify our answer. So to simplify it, our answer is going to be H to the second power because any number over 1 is, we write it as H to the second power. Are we good? We good? We can move on? Okay, very good. Let's go to number 2. I'm going to give you a minute to try number 2. Let's, using the same steps that we did number 1, try number 2. First of all, I need you to write it out. You have to write it out. You have to show you're working in math. We have to show working. So work it out, and let's go. We're going to do it again. I'm going to give you a minute to work it out. We're working on the questions? Okay. Now remember, we always set it as a fraction. Are we ready? Let's go. So our top of our fraction, and we're going to have, what are we going to have? We're going to have S times S. Very good. So that's S squared means S times S. Let's go to the bottom. We're going to have S times S times S times S. You good? Now, what is the next step? Once we have them written, what is our next step? What is our next step? Our next step is to cancel out. So we're going to cancel out. So we're going to cancel out S with S, S with S, top and bottom. Then we're going to go back to the top again. S with S. Okay, so we're finished there. Now, seeing that I did my canceling out, what will be my answer? Let me see your answer. Next, we're going to have an answer. Can you share your answers? Let's see those answers coming in. Make sure if you have any questions, put it in the Q&A. My colleagues working with me will be gladly willing to assist and help. If you have any questions, they will help you. So let's look at our answer. What goes to the top? What will be the first one? So we're going to have, first we're going to have 1 because when we cancel out, S cancel out with S give us 1. S with S give us 1. So 1 times 1 is going to give us 1. So what will be at the bottom? S times S is going to give us S squared. S times S is going to give us S squared. Remember when we did multiplying, you add the indices. So there are 2 S, so S to the second power. Everyone understand? Is that clear? Okay, let's move on. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute to try this one. Let's go. I'm going to give you a minute. You're going to try this one. Example number 1 says, simplify the following. C to the power of 4 divided by C to the power of 2 or C squared. First of all, remember, we always set it up. We have to show our working. Set it up and show your working. Okay, are we ready for the answers? I'm going to give you a second more. I see some persons are still typing in the answers. Then I'm going to begin. Okay, so let me go over the steps while you work. Remember, we set it up as a fraction. So the first thing on the top of my fraction, I have C to the 4th power. So that means I have to write C times C times C times C. On the bottom of my fraction, I'm going to have C times C. And the next step is to cancel out. We're going to cancel out C to the top with C to the bottom. It must be able to cancel out. And after, when you finish canceling out, then your whatever's left that isn't canceled will consist of your answer. Okay, we're going to go over number 1. We have a few more examples. For those who are just joining, I'm going to go over number 1. And when we come to number 2, I'm going to give you another chance to do it by yourself. So let's look at number 1. So first I bring my line. What goes to the top? I said, remember, C times C times C times C times C. That goes to the top because C to the 4th power means C times C times C times C. Now at the bottom, let's look at the bottom. So how many C's we're going to have at the bottom? Let's look C times C because it says C to the 2nd power. Now, our next step is to cancel out. So we have to cancel out only what can cancel. It must be the same at the top and the same number at the bottom. So we have C. With that C, you have to go top, bottom, top, bottom. C, C. Very good. Now we don't have any more C's at the bottom, so that's where we stop with canceling out. Nothing else can cancel out. So now we're going to put together, we're going to start working on our answer. So C times C. When you multiply and you have C times C, how do you write that answer? We know we add them because C times C is going to give us C squared because there are two C's. So C times C is C squared. And at the bottom, everything is canceled out. So when everything is canceled out, what does it mean? Our answer is going to be at the bottom 1 because when we cancel C with C goes into C once, like we did earlier. A into A1, so C into C1, so at the bottom our answer is going to be 1. And when we have a fraction with 1 as the denominator, how do we rewrite it? So we write it as C to the second power, so that will be our final answer. Okay, are we ready to try example number 2? Okay, let's get ready for number 2. I'm going to give you a minute for those who just joining to catch up to answer question number 2. Okay, are we ready to move on? So I see most persons are putting their answer, and if you're just joining me, we have a few more examples, so you're going to be able to catch up. But just let me know if I'm going too fast. I can slow it down a little slower for you. But okay, let's move on to number 2. For the first thing we're going to do is set it up as a fraction. So we're going to bring our fraction line in. Now it says k to the 6th power. So that means we need to multiply our k 6 times. So let's go. K times 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 K. Very good. We have 6 on top. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm good. Way to go. Now we're going to go to the bottom. How many K's should we have at the bottom? 4. So let's go to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good, because K to the 4th power tell me I'm multiplying K 4 times. K times K times K times K. Now let us cancel out. The next step is to cancel the like term. So we're going to cancel out the like term. So we have K at the top. So we're going to cancel out K with K to the bottom. We have another one at the top, another at the bottom, another at the top, another at the bottom, top, bottom. And we don't have any more at the bottom, so we know we have to stop. I need you to make sure I have something where you're writing these down because you have to follow the steps. I don't want you to do it out your head. I need you to write it down so that you can follow the steps. So now we're time to write our answers. So what will be our answer? If you got what is K times K is going to give us K squared. And we know when we cancel out K into K, we get 1. So our final answer, how can we rewrite that? We know as fraction, any number over 1, we write it as the same. K to the 2nd power. Good. If you got that right, excellent, excellent. If you was almost right or just got a piece right, whatever you did once you attempted, excellent. That's a good try. I would need everybody to be working on them. Let's go to number 3. Okay, remember the rules. So first we set up as a fraction. Then we're going to write our A's on top and our A's to the bottom, and then we're going to do our canceling out. Okay. I need you to write your answers in the chat, and if you have any questions or any concern or you need the question to be explained to you again, put that in the Q&A. The Q&A for you to write your questions, and you can put your answers in the chat. So any question that you need me to answer or something that you need to clarify, my colleagues who are working with me are going to be answering them in the Q&A. So please write your questions in the Q&A. And you can put your answers in the chat. Very well. Are we ready for the answer? We ready to get working? We ready? Everybody answers in? We ready to go? Okay, let's begin. So first we set up as a fraction. So let's go with our fraction line. So we're going to have our line first. Now, A to the 5th power means we have how many A's? A times A times A times A times A. So okay, now remember, always make sure count, because sometimes in writing, you just write and write and write, you may miscount. So make sure, double check. I always double check to make sure I have the right amount of A's. So I see I have my 5 here at the top. Now at the bottom, how many A's should I have? I should have 8 A's. So I have 8, I already started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me double check. Good, very good. Now, what is the next step? Once I write it up, what is the next step? Our next step is to cancel out. Let's go canceling. A with the top, A to the bottom. Top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. Now we're ready to write our answer. We have to stop there because there isn't any more A's at the top. So let's go on. So what will go at the top? What will be my answer at the top of my fraction? Remember, there must be something at the top and something at the bottom. So what goes to the top? So we're going to have, all A's cancel off. So A with A going to give me 1. And let's count how many A's to the bottom. I have A times A times A. So there are 3 A's. So our answer is going to be A to the 3rd power. Everyone good? If you got that right, you deserve a big round of applause. And I'm going to give you a little clap. And then let's move on. Very good, very good. Let's go to number 4. Now, I'm going to give you a chance now. See, this one is a little different. So I'm going to give you a chance. Now, with this one, that's why we watch the video. The video helps us with simplifying fraction. That's why we watch it. When you set up your fraction, remember you have to simplify. So I'm going to give you a minute to write it down, look at it, think it through, and see what you come up with. And remember, you can write your answers in the chat. On any questions you have, put it in the Q&A. So my assistants and those who are working behind the scene can help you with any questions you may have. Okay, let's begin. And for those joining, please watch. I hope you can catch up. Okay, let's go. The first thing we're going to do is set up as a fraction. So we're going to have our fraction line. Remember, we have our line first. Okay, and on top of our line, we're going to have 6. And we have to write out how many p's. We have 2 p's, so you have 6 times p times p times p, because we have 2 p's. That goes at the top. P squared means there are 2 p's, so we have 6 times p times p. And at the bottom, we're going to have, what are we going to have? We're going to just have 2. Now, if you watched the video earlier, if you were here, sorry for those who just joining late, we learned how to cancel out. So in order to simplify this, we have to simplify the 6 and the 2. What could go into 6 and 2 without a remainder? First of all, you're going to look at 6 and 2 to cancel. What could go into 6 and 2 without a remainder? What number can we use? Okay, 2. So we're going to use 2. Very good. 2. Okay, so let's go. 2 goes into 2 how many times? 1. And 2 goes into 6 how many times? 3 times. So let's look. We find a common denominator, or the highest common factor of 2 and 6. 2 can go into 2, and 2 could go into 6. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 6 3 times. Okay, now do we have anything to cancel out with p? No, we don't. We don't have anything to cancel out with p, so no p's at the bottom, so that remains the same. So let's move to our answer. So our answer, what is at the top? Our whole number is 3, because we know when we cancel out, we got 3. Now we have p times p. How many p's is it? It's 2p, so we can have p squared. What is at the bottom? We have at the bottom 1. Okay, now how do we rewrite that answer? Okay, let's rewrite it. So our answer is going to be 3p squared, or 3p to the 2nd power. Do I need to go over that again? Let me go over it again before we move on to question number 5. So it says 6p squared divided by 2 is equal to, so when we break it down as a fraction, 6 times p times p. That goes to the top, and at the bottom we have 2. Now we have whole numbers. When we have whole numbers, we can cancel out. How do we cancel out whole numbers? We find the highest common factor of the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator. So it goes 2 into 2 goes once, 2 into 6 goes 3 times, because 2 is the highest common factor. We don't have any p at the bottom, so we cannot do anything with p, so p remains the same. So when we come to our answer, we write 3, and p times p is going to give us p squared, and at the bottom our number is 1, so that's going to give us 3p squared. Let's go on to number 5. Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to do number 5. Okay, are we ready? We're ready. Okay, now, first we set up as a fraction, so let's go with our fraction. So, first we draw a line. Make sure, I hope you're taking it down. Even if you didn't understand Number 4, you didn't catch it. I need you to take it down so that as going forward, you will be able to catch up and look on. So at the top, we're going to have 12. And then it's 12D means 12 times D. And at the bottom, we have D. Now, when we look at this, what can cancel out? We have to cancel things that are the same. Do we have any whole numbers at the bottom? No, we don't. So we only have D to the top and D to the bottom, so we can cancel those out. D with D. And what is left? Let's look at our answer. So when I cancel out D with D, what is left? We have 12. So we have 12 left. And what goes to the bottom? D goes into D how many times? 1. So we're going to have 12 over 1, which is the same as saying 12. We know 12 over 1. Any number over 1, it's the number. It's a whole number. So the whole number is going to be 12. Let me explain that before we go on to number 6. 12D divided by D is going to be, we're going to set up our fraction 12 times D over D because we have 1 D to the bottom and 12 times D at the top, and we cancel out D with D. After we cancel out our D's, we end up with 12 over 1, which is the same as saying 12. Let's move on to question number 6. Okay, I'm going to give you a few more seconds now. Make sure, in order for you to catch it, you have to write it down. You have to be writing it down, and you have to follow the step. You have to put whatever is at the top goes at the top. So we know when we set up our fraction, what's at the top, we know 5 times H is going to go at the top. And what's at the bottom, we have 20, so 20 go to the bottom. And when we go from there, if you can, we have whole number at the top and whole number at the bottom. Can we simplify that? If we can, you go ahead and you do so. And then you go continue the process. Okay. I have my line, and what I'm going to put at the top, like I said, always the first part go to the top, 5H. 5H means 5 times H. And what will go at the bottom, we have 20. Now, where we don't have, we have whole numbers. 5 is a whole number, 20 is a whole number. Can 5 and 20 be simplified? Ask yourself, would you go into 5 and 20 without a remainder? Do I have any number that can go into 5 and 20 without a remainder? Or what is the HCF of 5 and 20? So what will be my answer? 5. We know 5. So let's do it. So 5 goes into 5 once. 5 goes into 20 4 times. And what do we have left? We have H. There's any H at the bottom, so we cannot do anything with the H. So what will be at the top? What will go at the top? Now time to write our answer. We have one whole number, so 1 H, because we know 1 times H is the same as saying 1H. When we multiply, we omit the multiplication sign. And at the bottom, we have 20. Now, 1H, how could we rewrite 1H? So I'm trying to make sure that you know all of your algebra skills. So we're going to write it the way it's supposed to be written. So our final answer is going to be H over 4, because we know 1 times H is H. So we don't have to put the 1 to say there's 1H. We know that there's only 1H. Very good. I hope that clarifies it. Let's go on. I'm going to give you some more practice. Let's continue going. Number 7. Okay, keep those answers coming. And remember, you have to be writing it down. And I need you to be focused. I need you to be trying to work out the answers, not chatting. We're here to work. So I need you to work out your answers. We're here to work, so let's get working. Make sure you have your pen, your paper, taking down your answers. Let's go. Remember, you have to set it up. You have to set it up. Always set it up first. Okay, are we ready? Everyone for taking down their answers. Remember, if you have any question, you can about them, you can put it in the Q&A, right? Just write your question. Someone is going to be right there waiting to answer. So if you don't understand, just write whatever questions you may have in the question box, Q&A box. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to set up as a fraction. Okay, so what goes at the top? We're going to put 3. We have 3 at the top, and it says 3a squared. So how many a's is that? So that's a times a, because we have 2 a's. And what goes at the bottom? We're going to have 9 and how many a's? So we have 1 a, so 9 times a. That's at the bottom. Now, before we look at the letters, we have to look at the numbers, 3 and 9. What are the common, what can go into 3 and 9 without a remainder? What is the highest common factor of 3 and 9? Okay, very good. The highest common factor is, if you said 3. You are correct. So let's start canceling out. So we have 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 9 3 times. And then that's that. So everyone understand I use the highest common factor of 3 and 9 to cancel them out. 3 goes into 3, 1. 3 into 9 goes 3 times. Now we're going to look at A. Do I have an A at the top and A at the bottom? Yes, I do. So I can cancel those out. A with A. And now we cannot do any more canceling out. So it's time for us to reveal our answers. What do we have at the top? We have 1 and we have an A. So it's going to be 1A. Now let's look at the bottom. What do we have at the bottom? We only have 3. So it'll be 1A over 3. And how do I rewrite that? How do I write 1A? How do I write 1A? 1A is the same as saying A, and we keep our 3 at the bottom, A over 3. How did we do on that one? I hope everyone is catching on, and I hope everyone is doing a good job. Very good. If you got it right, excellent, excellent. Keep it going. Let's look at number 8. Number 8. Make sure to put your answers in. If you have any question, you can put them in the Q&A. I have persons standing by to answer your question. Okay, keep those answers coming and keep those questions coming. Let's go. Keep your answers and keep those questions coming. Very good. I'm getting some good answers. Let's go. Double check and make sure double check. I'm getting some great answers. Very good. Very good. I see a lot of you are catching on. Excellent. Keep it up. Keep it up. Good job. I don't want to call any names. I'm saying some great answers because I don't want to get in trouble and leave anyone out. But you guys are doing an awesome job. Awesome job. Keep it up. Okay. Are we ready? We ready to go? We ready for the answers? Okay, let's go. We're ready. So, first of all, we always set it up as a fraction. So let's get our fraction line. Okay, here go my fraction line. And what I have 35s. 35s, if I simplify, that means 35 times s. Good. And at the bottom, I have 7s. 7s means 7 times s. Now, we're going to look at the whole numbers. Always look at the whole number first. Can anything goes in 35 and 7 without a remainder? Or what is the highest common factor of 35 and 7? The highest common factor of 35 and 7. Okay. The highest common factor of 5 and 7, 35 and 7 is 7. Okay. So now let's look at it. So we're going to say 7 goes into 7 how many times? 1. 7 goes into 35 5 times. Can we cancel out s with s? Yes, we can. Excellent, excellent. If you said yes, and I know you said yes, everyone said yes, because we can. So we go s with s. Good. Now we're going to write our answer using what we have left. So what do we have left at the top? We have a 5 at the top. And what is at the bottom? And we have 1. And that's our answer. Now, we know when as a fraction, what is 5 over 1? 5 over 1 is the same as saying 5. Great job, guys. Excellent. I saw those answers coming. Like I said, I don't want to call names to get myself in trouble, but you guys are doing an awesome, awesome, awesome job. Let's go to number 9. Okay, I'm gonna give you a minute, and just let me know if I'm going too fast for you guys. I'm gonna give you a minute to do number 9. And remember, if you have any questions or any concern or anything, you can write it in the Q&A box. I'm encouraging you to ask as much questions so that you can be familiar and you know what you're doing, and you can leave this class today feeling that you have accomplished so much today. Because I'm so excited to have all of you here. I'm having a good time. I'm hoping that you're having just as much fun as I have presenting it to you. Okay, remember to set it up. What goes at the top, we're going to set up as a fraction. 8p to the 4th power means, we know what that means, 8. And how many p's are we multiplying? 4. So we're going to be 8p times p times p times p. And what goes to the bottom of my fraction? 6p to the 3rd power means 6. And we're going to have 3 p's, p times p times p times p. And then we're going to continue, cancel out, and then simplify from there. Okay, I see some good answers coming. Excellent, you're catching on. Very good. Very good. Some of you look like you were doing this for a long time. Good job. Very good. Okay, let's get started. Okay. We draw a line. We're going to do a line for our fraction. So we're going to have at the top, we're going to, like I said, 8p to the 4 power means 8. We're going to put our 8, and we're going to have p 4 times. So 4 p's times p times p times p times p times p. And remember, we count them to make sure that we didn't go over, because I know some of you like me, I do things fast. We may end up putting too much p or too less p, so double count. Okay, so we have 6 at the bottom, and we're going to go times p times p times p times p, 3 p's. Good. And what is the next step? Remember, you're supposed to be writing this down. What is the next step? Our next step is to cancel out. So let's go. Oh, sorry. We can go into 6 and 8 without a remainder. Is there any number that can go into 6 and 8 without a remainder? What is that number? What is the HCF of 6 and 8? We know 6 can't go into 8, so we know we cannot use that without a remainder. So we have to find a number when you write out the factors of 8 and the factors of 6. What do you get? What's the highest common factor? Our highest common factor of 6 and 8 is going to be, okay, so you're putting that answer is 2. So, okay, we're going to have 2 into 6 goes 3 times, 2 into 8 goes 4 times. So now, can we cancel anything with P and P? P cancel with P, P cancel with P. Let's look at the next one. P with P, P with P. Let's look at the next one. P with P and P with P. Okay. Now, what do we have left? Let's look at our whole number. So we have a 4. Do we have any P left? Yes, we have 1 P, so we bring that at the top. What about at the bottom? What do we have left at the bottom? We have 3. No P's is left, so that will be our answer. Nothing else. That cannot go any further, so our answer is 4P divided by 3. Okay, very good. Everyone got it? Everyone took it down, made your corrections. Any questions? If you have a question, please put it in your in the Q&A box. Write it in the Q&A box. Okay, let's moving on. I have a game that I want to play with you, but because of time, we're gonna answer 2 questions in the game. Let's see if we have a time for 2 questions. So just to sharpen your skills on our topic today. Let's see if we have time for 2 more questions. Okay, I'm gonna choose 2 questions. So let's see if we can sharpen our skills. I'm gonna choose 2 questions. And then we're going to do 2 because we have time for only 2 questions. Let me choose question number 6. So let's go look at question number 1. Okay. So at this rate, we're going to do 1 question. Let's go. We get our answer in. Okay, we have our answers. Let's check our answer for number 1. If you got m to the 3rd power, you are correct. At the top, you should have 8 m's with note m times 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 m. And at the bottom, you should have 5 m's, m times m times m times m. And you're going to cancel top and bottom 1, top and bottom 2, top and bottom 3, top, bottom 4, top, bottom 5. And what you have left at the top, you should have 3 m at the top and 1 at the bottom, which is going to give us m to the 3rd power. Okay. Okay, so that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank each one of you for joining in, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson. And I also want to thank Ms. Camp, Ms. Flowers, Ms. Alice, Ms. Dixon, Ms. Poitier, and Ms. McFall for helping answering all your questions. I hope all of your questions that were given, you got them answered and you understood what was going on in the lesson today. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day, and you guys be safe.
Addition. Here are some clue words or keywords that tells us to add: sum, plus, total, combine, altogether, and in all. We must look out for these words when we have a word problem to solve. Let's practice. Read along with me. There are 16 girls and 52 boys playing on a park. What is the total amount of children on the park? Do you recognize one of our words? Do you see a new word? Yes, total. Total tells us to add. It is important that we remember our place value when we add. The digits 6 and 2 are in the 1 place, and the digits 1 and 5 are in the 10th place. So let's add. We start with the 1 place. 6 plus 2. 6 plus 2 is equal to 8. Now we can move on to the digits in the 10th place. 1 plus 5. The sum of 1 plus 5 is 6. Problem of the day. Michael picked 25 mangoes on Saturday and 34 mangoes on Sunday. How many mangoes did he pick all together? Did you see a word that tells us to add? Yes, all together tells us we must add. We must add 25 plus 34 because Michael picked 25 mangoes on Saturday and 34 mangoes on Sunday. When we add, we must remember our place value. We always start with the 1 place. 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. We can now move on to the 10th place. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. The sum is 59.
Okay, now it's revision time. We're going to go over all of those things that we would have learned. Today we looked at addition. Now, do you remember any of those addition keywords that we went over earlier? I want you to put on your superhero thinking caps and I want you to just shout them out. This isn't like when we're in class. You are free to just shout them out and I'm going to record them. Yes, we had some, all together, total, plus, in all, and we can even add the word add. Thank you so much for those keywords. Now we also solved the problem today. Now we're going to look right over here to a problem for us to solve. Anyone remembers the answer in an addition problem? Yes, it is called the sum. So we must find the sum of 62 plus 43. Now when we are adding, it is important that we remember place value. When we add, we start with the digits in the ones column. And our digits in the ones column would be 2 and 3. So 2 plus 3. What is the sum of 2 plus 3? Excellent. It is 5. You are free to use your counters to find the sum as well. Now we can move on to our tens column. In the tens place, we have 6 and 4. 6 plus 4. What is the total of 6 plus 4? Very good. It is 10. Now I know some boys and some girls may just put their 0, but it is it is important that we put the complete number because we don't have any hundreds. So our sum would be 105.